Hello guys, welcome back to Spice Channel TV. Governor Chukwuma Soludo, the governor of Anambra State, has made a strong statement regarding the minimum wage of the Nigerian workers, where he warned President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in regards to this minimum wage. He cautioned Tinubu against endorsing an unsustainable minimum wage for Nigerian workers. Speaking at the platform at an event by Covenant University aimed at fostering national development, Soludo addressed the complexities surrounding the minimum wage debate and its broader economic ramifications. Soludo, who is a former governor of the CBN, highlighted the financial strain that the proposed 62K minimum wage by the federal government and the 250K demanded by the organized labor, how it could be placed on state governors and the private sector. He warned that not all state governors or not all state governments or private sector entities could be able to afford such wage levels without facing significant economic difficulties, including potential job loss. So Soludo has cautioned that adopting an unsustainable wage could lead to job loss and further economic challenges. And recall in his Democracy Day address on Wednesday, Tinubu had assured the Nigerian Labour Congress that an executive bill on the new minimum wage for workers will soon be sent to the National Assembly for passage. The president would make a decision on the 62,000 proposal of the government and the private sector, and also the 250,000 demanded by the organized labor. The president had made this known that they would come to a final conclusion. But Soludo, who elaborated on these proposals, breaks down figures, how it would go round to each person if they are distributed. He emphasized that private sector, which employs a sustainable portion of Nigeria's workforce, would really struggle to meet up the demands of 62,000 for minimum wage. And Soludo shared that he had consulted with about 9 entrepreneurs in Anambra State, and none of them could even afford to pay that proposed amount of 62,000 naira. So this minimum wage issue is really complex, and the Nigerian workers are justified in seeking a higher pay, asking what are they getting. Now we know that this is a question in the minds of every Nigerian. What will the government conclude on? The workers' demands are for better wages, because the harsh economic reality is really telling on them. And some even noted that even if they are being paid 1 million naira, it might not even be enough, because Soludo pointed out that challenges beyond government employees, this extends towards small and minimum enterprises, school institutions, and everybody has been affected by this, and will be affected by this wage increase. Although Soludo expressed sympathy for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, noting the heavy responsibility on the president's shoulders, he really expressed his sympathy for the president. But then it is the job of the president to carry the weight and the burden of this great nation. And we see that this minimum wage debate, is really, really significant and important for Nigeria's economic stability, because this proposed wage increase reflects the Nigerian workers' legitimate concerns over the cost of living and economic pressures and the harsh economic conditions. However, this increase, has really been on debate, and they are trying to, ponder on this, that if this minimum wage is eventually increased, hope it won't bring about the loss of people's jobs, because Soludo's remarks underscores the need for a balanced approach that will also considers both the welfare of the workers and the economic capacity of the employers, between the private sector and also the government sector. The challenge is to find a sustainable wage level that supports workers without imposing huge financial burdens on employers, especially in the private sector, which is very, very crucial for Nigeria's overall economic health. And now we know that this has become a huge, debate, and we are yet to get to a final conclusion. But there have been talks that if the state governments are not able to pay the minimum wage being proposed by the government, that there would be a fine on them. Yes, my country people, there've been talks on the state government not being able to afford this minimum wage. You see, the minimum wage in Nigeria has been a huge topic of debate, but the National Assembly are already proposing some, a sizable amount of money that would also benefit the Nigerian workers and also the state governors, that will not strain them. And Tinubu had said that during his Democracy Day speech that he will pay what Nigeria can afford. That was what he said, that he will pay what Nigeria can afford. And guys, we don't know what Nigeria can afford at this moment. We only know the demands of the NLC and the TUC. Tinubu having made that statement really, made a lot of us sit down and ponder on what he actually said, because he did not give hope to the NLC workers that he would meet their demands. No, he said he would pay what Nigeria can afford. And when they were bringing up this 250k, Tinubu said Nigeria cannot afford it. So I really think that the president would not be able to, meet up to their demands. But I don't know if the government would increase, the 62k offer that they are making, maybe to increase it up to 100k, according to some economists and some individuals who have made some analysis that 100k would be okay. It would not, really put a strain on the federal government. But when we want to look at the private sector, you can see that this would really put a strain on employers, because imagine a case whereby someone works in a pure water factory being paid 100,000 naira monthly. This would result to an increase in the production cost of pure waters, and when they calculate their production cost, including salaries of workers and everything they've spent, all this money will be channeled into the final product, and the price of that pure water would increase automatically, leading to high inflation. I think these are the considerations of the government and the National Assembly on this minimum wage, so that it won't bring about heightened or increased inflation in the country. But then I hope the government will listen to the demands of the Nigerian workers, so that they can come to a normal level, a normal level playing ground, so they can come to, a conclusion on this minimum wage. I'm dropping here, guys. Kindly share your thoughts on this in the comment section. Thank you.